SPMIS. So I think it should be consistent.
Okay.
Had SPMIS. So
Okay.
Social Protection Management Information System.
Okay.
Had SPMIS.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. I think we should take a stand on the issue of the law. Take a stand. Because when we two presented, the presentation was not lack of legislation. Inadequate. It recognized the Katipa law. Yes, because it's the Katipa law that repealed the social security law. But this group saying there is no law. There's no social protection law. That's what you said. Is that what you said? But that's what you No, I think at the point social point you say there is no social protection law. The 2023 social security law was yes. No, but I commented on this. I told them to match the two and indicate that there was a law. This is
Adequate.
not as complete as the one at the national level. So you take note.
Thank you, sir.
There's no law. So, but that the law is inadequate, right?
Tap, 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 tap.
She showed me drugs. So she's suffering from social shock.
You know, need someone. Yes. Yes. Okay. Well done, everyone. So for group 4, first the general description of the policy. Even though it has mentioned some of the things that has already been achieved. So instead of expected, we now suggested that that should be deleted for the first paragraph so that it can enable all relevant actors to play their roles as expected by the government. And then secondly, for the policy implementation systems, we have also this is not the updated one, is it?
Check the last document.
The last document.
Eleven 33 today.
Let me resend.
Let me resend it. So also we have also made a suggestion that instead of monitoring, evaluation, and learning system, it should be monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning. Then also for cost and financing arrangements, and then also for data and the MIS, we have, before it was developed, there was mention of that in the policy. And then, are you checking the other document? Okay, you are sending. All right, let me continue with the presentation before he does that. So we have also attached data and the social protection management information system so that it can be integrated together and ensure that. Then additionally, we have also noted that some of the parts of the policy are not mentioned here, like for example, the policy review processes, the measures and others. So we now decide to arrange them so that as someone is looking at the document, we'll know what it entails, the framework chapter as well. Then additionally, risk and mitigation being highlighted in green are things that we've added. For the institutional arrangements, I'll be reading it out. The government will establish by law. Is this really the updated document? Because we've made edits.
You updated this. Look at the envelope there now. Click on that envelope. Look at it now.
Okay.
So that is what it
Yes,
is.
yes, it has been it has been established, and that's the social protection investment program agency. And then also to ensure inclusiveness, my Oga here made a suggestion on our platform that we should also include persons with disabilities representation as part of the institutional arrangements. Then also there we have also we're trying to move fast. Yes, we have also suggested that there should be clarity about the roles and responsibilities of each of the stakeholders. So, for example, yes, we are talking about CSOs for accountability purposes and ensuring that everyone is clear about their roles. And then going to the next part, which talks about partnership, we have also highlighted that there should be partnership engagement strategy to be added on there, and the mechanism and funding incentives that's taxed for partnership, it should be created. And this is for a well-defined strategy ensuring stakeholders are actively involved in financial commitments and improvement of sustainability. Then for international development partners, we didn't make any. Is there any comment on that? Okay. For the civil society as well, so we have before we decided to add things related to audits, like some people were mentioning yesterday, but then we realized that accountability has captured all other measures and mechanisms for ensuring grievance readiness. And then for private sector, this government is partnering with the private sector and banks to facilitate the delivery of cash payments and other financial services to the poor and vulnerable without, and what's that? Encumbrance. This is imminent as government is no longer satisfied with practices. Then for SP coordination, well, you can see there. So all SP programs, projects, and activities, regardless of who initiate them and fund them, shall be coordinated by, then we added, before it was the Social Protection Coordinating Agency to be established, but now we now added CADCIPA in there. Also for the diagram there, even though it's uneditable, so we've made our suggestion there that CADCIPA should be reflected as the agency to coordinate all the social protection programs. Then for the implementation strategy as well, the implementation strategy has been developed, even though yesterday there was debate and we have a lot of professors in our group. So at the end we had to invite a panel judge for yeah, before we also conclude on this.
So who was the judge?
We had two judges. Panel accurate, there was, you were part of the judges and Becca. I was just an observer. So also, it was in the first instance that the implementation strategy will be developed. But the observation is that it has been developed but never approved. So here, we now make it that implementation strategy shall, sir, you have to, where is our comment on this? No, there is. Not that. Okay, so maybe it didn't reflect there, but our suggestion was that the Kaduna Social Investment Program Agency will be responsible for leading the implementation of a 4-year implementation strategy for Kaduna State. Is it there? Okay, yes, yes. Thank you. Then for monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning, like we've mentioned, the Kaduna State Social Investment (CPA) will take the lead in the development of a suitable meal for SP implementation strategy, and the system will establish progress markers, performance milestones, and others. And also, we've added that this will be integrated with the Kaduna MIS that we have. Then for cost and financing arrangements, when the policy was developed, it was to place social protection on the first. But now, since that has been maintained, we want it to be continuous. So then also, lastly, we also say that there should be funding mechanisms or incentives for public-private partnerships. And then for this data and Kaduna Social Protection Management Information System, our suggestion is that, therefore, the government will utilize CAD SPMIS as the central data portal for capturing and auto-updating the data of social protection beneficiaries across the state. And the portal will be an integral part of the central data information management system. Then this also, the structure of the MIS, this was before it is developed. We've also made a comment that some parts of the WANA should be edited, and that's our correction there, reflecting on that. For the implementation phase, yes, risk and mitigations. So also, the first risk there is insufficient funding, which could hinder effective implementation of the policy. So the mitigation there is that social protection should be maintained as first line charge in the annual state budget. And then secondly, improve coordination between state and local government spending on social protection. Then encourage private sector. Yeah, that's on the one now. So we also added that yes, it's the same. Additional financing resources should include private sector contributions, philanthropic donations, improved coordination between state and LGAs, and continuous engagement with development partners for funding support. Then for the second, okay.
This has also reminded me. I don't know when we're reviewing. Have you taken cognizance of local government autonomy? It's very, very important. Huh? Because when I saw local government, I just reminded me. Have you taken cognizance? Eh? Or there was something like that. So you see, it is very, very important because these state governments,
But this has documented.
For all these from the local government commerce. And now that local government will be having their direct funds, so accessing the local government funds, will require a lot of processes and procedures, so which will affect the government, state government's resources size, that will also meditate, that will also serve as an obstacle to implementing some of the social protection policies. So I don't know where do we need to bring in this issue, because as you just mentioned it now, though we cannot, I think we will suggest to the government this is how they should get their resources from the local government. I don't think we can do that. But anywhere we say that the government, state government, I think we should find a way of bringing in local government, right? And if there's any way that we can bring it in, that the issue of social protection policy, some of the policy should be stepped down to the local government level. So since they are going to start having, since they start having their direct funding, so I don't know. Eh? Yes. Yes. I think the major thing is financing, because if you look at learning and budgeting, provide for the economic planning for ensure that local government, okay, and states have aligned So I think it's just to ensure that local governments are aligning policy. Okay. And now use the economic planning for as the avenue to support the prioritization of these local government spending. So that all its spending will be in line. Say it louder now, so the government will give this law back. Of course, of course. So that's why it's very, very important. And as I just said earlier, I think we should just anywhere we mention state government, because we bring in local government there. The state government and local government should do that. Yes, so particularly the line yes, the major driver of this constitution. Yes. If you look at the local government, so they are affecting two areas, which is I think section 164. So then section 7. But there are other provisions, just the way the state is expected to link up to national regulation.
Da Allah kai helping din mu ka cire wannan ya manta bai cire ba
Autonomy does not
because it has already
they
been
will just do
established.
what they want from outside the overall development of local government,
you.
state and local, national. So we must also find a way of ensuring that that alignment is there in terms of policy. Yes. Because at the end of the day, implementation, where does it happen? It's in the local government. So you still need, whether they have autonomy or not, you still need to collaborate with
Together.
structures.
Sure.
Yes, exactly. To be able to implement it. Yes. So I think the structure will be okay.
And in addition, the 1999 Constitution has made provision for state and local government joint account. And ultimately, the account in the system has not been scrapped. So where there is need for local government to come into the state, like this Kasipa project, the state government can liaise with the local government and make it into
Yes, that is the point we're trying to. Yes. By January, this January.
What? No. It does not be scrapped.
So that the issue back was
If I go sit down, Abi.
Yeah, okay.
so that's what the memo has gone to CPS. Every local government have their accounts open. So the and let's not forget, yes.
Direct funding. Local government allocation will now come directly into the account.
Yes.
But state joint account still exists because it is there in the constitution.
Jack.
So now, if there's any project of this nature or any other project where the government feel that the local government should now come in, you can now bring it in.
So
That account, that is only that account can be used.
you are from which ministry? Ministry of Education. Joint account. I have an experience there because I have worked in the local government as an education sector. This will show direct funding. They are not so much to do. All the receipts for Washington, I think. Yes, money is going accounts. The state government, they have a committee called JAC, Joint Account Committee. Every month, when the government is cross funds, local government comes, the Minister for Local Government organizes a meeting. You understand?
Yes.
Where the state interest will be discussed and explained. You understand? Even the primary school salary, which is also very government being the it is the local government chairman that forwarded signs the chair This is a change to Supreme Court to affect the so the funding has been there. The government has been funded. But what is still existing in this JAC committee, joint account allocation, every month they give it and they discuss among the chairman and states. So they still continue. If that one, because that one is so let's do some other things as well. Let me do a question.
Yeah, let me read what the constitution says. It says each state shall maintain a special account to be called state joint local government account, into which shall be paid all allocations. You understand? The local government will say from the federation account. So it's that account that the money goes to direct before it is expected to be disbursed to the local government. So it is when it comes to the state, what usually happens in JAC most time is that local government chairman will be brought to, they'll tell them we have done deductions for this, we have done deductions for this, and this is what is remaining for. That's what usually happens.
Exactly.
So but now what this is, the memo that don't see here is that this money will not come into this account. It will go to local government. Then the NFIU Act will now come into effect, which now mandates them to ensure that there's certain amounts that you can't remove as cash. Then there are procedures before you even meet the state for any other project.
This money has been going to the local government account, not through that account. Not through the joint account. Yes. It has been going to the local government account. It is the chairman that has seen their money and their allowance. I'm telling you. That's all happens. That's all happens. It's okay. It goes to the joint account. The local government gets after all the deductions. There are changes. That's what they get.
They will now see their allowed.
Yes. That's how they see their allowance. After all the deductions. That's why they call it balance. So I think
Every local government has an individual account.
what I think what led to this debate argument issue of what issue of carrying governments along right? I think that is it. So as we are going to the issue of state government, we can local government, right? State government alongside local government should do that. Are we getting it? So that at the end of the day, the state government will not be hooked up because of resources scarcity. No, so it's good. Someone raised another point here. Yes.
Okay, state policy of the loan establishment scheme. Likely also this the loan that establishing legacy fund. In the loan that establishing there are certain portion that they are amount set in the loan that the state should. This is also the same thing is captured in the loan. Certain portion should contribute between the state and local governments.
Was there anything like that? So it was mainly state government that was different. So you see, they didn't envisage that Supreme Court, the Supreme Court will on this state. Nobody knew the president will take this case to the court. They said alone, ruling it in favor of the government. But now that it has been ruled, now that it has been ruled in favor of the local government, so find a way of bringing in local government into the implementation, process of this social protection policy. Because if you leave it to the state alone, it's going to be very heavy. And the scarce resources there might not be able to meet up to the required resources for achieving the desired objectives of this policy. So let's try and bring in the issue of local government authorities. Thank you. Continue.
Okay, thank you for the contributions. So, yes, we also say that the Social Protection Agency should have a strong mandate to oversee all programs, and strict enforcement of the State Unified Operational Plan should be ensured to streamline activities across different agencies and stakeholders. Then we add part of the risk, shock responsive social protection, such as emergency cash transfers, food relief, and contingency funds for rapid response. But this is supposed to be the risk where we capture it. Maybe it's just some kind of error where community engagement on climate change adaptation should be strengthened, and social protection measures should be aligned with environmental policies to ensure long-term resilience. Then lack of public awareness on the policy provisions. We also say that a communication strategy for public awareness on the social protection should be developed. Then yes, this is where
here you also need to be if you are making a recommendation, that is what we always encourage in the academics. If you are making a recommendation, it should be precise. What is expected is done. Don't just make it kind of ambiguous. Just make it specific.
the document.
That's like this one that we are talking about awareness. So how would the government do it? Is it through media, through this, through that? So I think it will make.
Thank you. So we also say that. Pardon? Yeah, we were trying to just present the current one. It's the document just.
Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, this is.
Speaks to number 5.
That's. I mean, that's what we are currently trying to present.
Number 5.
Yes, this climate-related shocks. That's the risk. Yes. So floods, droughts, and extreme weather conditions can exacerbate poverty and disrupt social protection programs. And then the mitigation, we say that shock responsive social protection, such as emergency cash transfers, food relief, and that's what we've mentioned, yes, earlier. Then also community engagement on climate adaptation should be strengthened, and social protection measures should align with environmental policies to ensure long-term resilience. Climate-related health risks should be covered in SP systems, e.g. health insurance or cash transfer for medical expenses. Then create emergency relief fund quickly deployed during climate-induced disasters. Promote green economic policies and sustainable practices that helps prevent environmental degradation while boosting economic resilience. Then for lack of political will, it still remains the problem, but we added another mitigation that a multi-stakeholder social protection advisory committee should be established to monitor government commitments and ensure policy continuity. My boss from the government, Professor Becker, was mentioning earlier that there are plans for that. So we also include it there. Yes. Then also, pardon? Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
Four. So I'm taking the notes. Okay. Yes. Have you heard what you said? That should be added where?
Mm.
Okay, so increasing multi-stakeholder.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So then for, can you go a bit up? Yes, for the misapplication of SP resources, we added another mitigation to that too, and that's digital payment systems with strict accountability measures and tracking should be adopted, and penalties should be enforced for fund mismanagement. Then for lack of accurate data, um, the adjustment we made there is just to establish a single view of data within the established agency of coordination. Inadequate. Lack of data on targeted beneficiaries on SP. Inadequate. Okay. Noted. We can go down. Yes. So we also raised another risk, which is limited public awareness and communication about SP provisions, low awareness, which can lead to poor program participation and misinformation. Yes.
Go down.
We can just edit that. But this is more robust, I think, the point.
So you can remove this one.
Please help us delete this number 4.
Because that one is more robust, yes, than this one.
Yeah.
So you can remove this item 4. Yes.
Going down. Yes, so we say that develop a communication and public awareness strategy using radio, TV, social media, and community engagement to educate citizens on SP benefits. Then traditional and religious and community leaders should be involved in grassroots mobilization and ensure inclusive awareness efforts. Okay. Then we also added another mitigation, which is limited accessibility for persons with disabilities. Many social protection programs are not disability inclusive, preventing full participation of the persons with disabilities. And then our recommendation for the mitigation is that SP initiatives or programs should be designed to be disability friendly, and specific assistance programs should be created to support them, including assistance devices, accessible cash transfer mechanisms, and priority services. We address that too. This these are additional mitigations to the policy, and we are coming to the gender aspect as well. Then we also add, because when the policy was developed, there was no digital or economical. When the policy was developed, there was no digital or technological mitigation. Yes. So we also, since now we have the MIS and other tools that are being used, we also look at that digital and economical barriers in social protection can affect the delivery. And then we recommend that cybersecurity measures to prevent data breaches and protect beneficiary information. Then train beneficiaries, especially marginalized groups, on how to use digital platforms for accessing social protection services. Ensure websites and mobile applications and user-friendly, multilingual, and designed for low literacy. Provide support for people with disabilities through screen readers, voice-to-read text features, and accessible web design. Then,
I thought this issue, because of this digitalization, you know, the activities of the fraudsters on the internet and the 419, they can, one day affect someone's, income. Because if you are duped, you'll be exposed to a risk, right? Because of this digitalization. So, and that's why sometimes the issue of awareness too needs to be created on how people should use the internet. So that you don't just respond to any text, you don't just click on any link that is sent to you. All these are possibilities that one can find himself in a very serious financial catastrophe.
Yes, sir. And
which is, so it is, I think it is important that you say something like that with respect to this.
we did. That's why we mentioned issue of cyber security, and we even say that people who are visually impaired, we can use voice to read and read to text. Yes. Then for the policy analysis and review, this is what was on the before, but yes, yes. So we decided to give another background. So this policy will be subjected to analysis and review every 3 years to ensure its continued relevance, effectiveness, and alignment with national and global development agendas or global goals. The Kaduna State Social Protection Agency, in collaboration with Kaduna Social Investment Program Agency, will coordinate the review process. This is an arrow. We wanted to highlight CATSIPA there. And yes.
Take note.
Yes, please. It should be CATSIPA. The Kaduna Social Investment Program Agency will coordinate the review process.
Secretary, I see
That the Kaduna State Social Protection Agency.
yes.
It should be deleted.
Okay, but I'm seeing something here again in collaboration with the Kaduna State. So
That's why I said
it
it
should
is
just
an
be
error.
the Kaduna State Social Investment Program Agency will coordinate the review process.
Yes,
Simple.
yes, sure. The study will be broad-based and multi-sectoral, engaging key actors such as ministries, departments, and agencies, civil society organizations, international development partners, private donor and philanthropic organizations, traditional and religious leaders, women organizations, youth groups, and persons disability rights advocates, then climate adaptation and environmental experts, then representatives of children and adolescents, including child rights and organizations, and youth council. Because yesterday there was a recommendation that every other, even the beneficiaries. Okay.
We the academies are committed.
Okay. Please, add that too.
Academies among others.
The academia.
So bring in the academies. It's not
right.
academies that can do objective, vision, and measure. So it is very
Well noted. Well noted. Hadis, academia. Yes. Yes.
exactly.
Academia among others. Yes.
You say the academics.
So next time, just academics.
Okay.
But next time you are yes, academics. You need to
And the other groups. We say that the policy review shall focus on 1, assessing policy progress and achievements, measuring impact across different population groups, then 2, determining the extent to which social protection is addressing the needs of poor and vulnerable people in the state, 3, evaluating feasibility of social protection interventions such as social pension, child benefits, unemployment benefits, and disability benefits. Then examining synergies between social investments, social assistance, transfers, and small enterprise development, ensuring linkages between social protection and economic empowerment. Assessing the policy's responsiveness to climate shocks, pandemics, and environment and economic downturns, ensuring adaptability stability in times of crisis. Then examining the contribution of social protection policy to economic growth and poverty reductions, reviewing the effectiveness of public awareness and communication strategies related to social protection, ensuring that citizens are well informed of their rights and available services, assessing alignment with Nigeria's national social protection policy, the sustainable development goals, and other relevant global commitments. Then we also look at the outcome of the policy adjustment, and we say that the findings from the review should inform necessary adjustment to the policy implementation strategies, enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of social protection programs, strengthen coordination mechanisms across implementing partners, ensure financial sustainability and proper resource allocation, and incorporate lessons learned to improve future social protection interventions. Thank you.
Comment?
Yes. So when it comes to, I want to relate this to the issue of payment of benefits. We do have cases, even recently, where we work alongside patient experts, particularly over this we realize they use it as a kind of way of getting money.
That's the local government tax officer, pension tax officers.
Despite that, we have no option than to use them, but we try as much as possible to see that we create a lot of awareness. We inform beneficiaries that you don't need to pay a dime
Yes.
before the shortlisted. However, there is one case with local government tax officer when a particular name was shortlisted for payment. We don't know how he did it. He connived with the bank officials to open an estate account alongside the beneficiary.
And the beneficiary is alive?
Yes, no, the beneficiary is a death benefit.
Okay, it's the death benefit, yes.
One beneficiary, next of kin.
Okay.
So they went to the bank to open an estate account, but he signed as a major signatory to the account.
And there was no any evidence. There was no any all these certificate of certificate no, not that certificate. There is this letter of administration from the court.
Letter of administration
So it
carries only one person.
Mm-hmm.
It has the NOK. It's a lady.
Mm-hmm. So, but the banks is not supposed to accept it.
We don't know how he did it. But she became major signatory to the account.
No, the bank is not supposed to accept it.
They opened the account. After we have paid, he received a lot. Yes. So he now later went to her house and told her that the Kaduna State Pension has paid your death benefits. But unfortunately, I've touched part of the money. I will pay you half. Then the other half will be paid installmentally. So the point I'm trying to make is that this make her vulnerable because
exactly
she was so worried. She reported to I think office of the SSG, and the attention of the ES was drawn. And after investigation, we realized the case is still with Ministry of Local Government Affairs.
Okay.
But we get to realize that he had actually spent part of that money, more than half.
Inhuman.
Yes. So cases like this make a lot of retirees and beneficiaries of death benefits vulnerable. So I don't know if there's anything that can be done to
mitigate some of these issues.
And there are cases where you see a pensioner who doesn't even know how to use his ATM will trust his own biological son or daughter. But at the end of the day, we had a case from Zankua, so, the guy was withdrawing the money. Yes, and he always tell his dad that government has not paid your pension until after 8 months. So he carried the dad, they came to complain. I will ask them to bring statement of account. We will see the flow.
Yes,
The credit and debit.
Mm.
You will ask the dad, who uses your ATM card? Said it's his son. So when the ES was asking the son, he said he was using it to buy jeans and the rest. Yes. So cases like this, despite all the awareness, you understand? So I don't know.
So I think that will come under the mitigation, under the mitigation law. Yes, you want to say something? Yes.
So I just want to still emphasize on the importance of that women's intelligence in all the social protection programs or intervention that we have. And of course,
So this is a general comment to all groups. So we should take notes. Mm.
Human-centered.
yeah, human-centeredness. Yeah, in all the social protection. Okay. So I'm heading to somewhere. So then, of course, the accountability mechanism should be also strengthened in terms of establishing feedback response mechanism across all the LGS for all the programs that are running, so that these beneficiaries can easily go and provide their feedbacks, whatever we are running in the communities.
Yes.
Take action as some of the mitigation strategies.
Okay.
Things like this now, some of them may even find it difficult to know how to channel their complaints.
Exactly. Exactly. Noted. Yes.
If, thank you. I said one of the reasons where we consider some of the after the civil society consultation, we have also made other wider consultations where we've had discussions with youth, with children, and even students with disability, among others. So I don't know, maybe after also this discussion, we can compile all those reports and other things together and share with you.
You see, that is why all those reports have already been shared with me. The reports from on this social protection policy.
Aside from that CSO wider.
Okay.
Yes.
Then apart from the youth on again. Okay. Which one is that? Okay. Okay. You can also share. Madam Becky, I have not seen that, because if she had seen it. So, and that was why when we started this review yesterday, I tried to make mention of these reports, of this communique by the CSOs and the youths, that as we are reviewing, we should be conscious of these recommendations. I think I was clear about that yesterday. So that as we are reviewing, anywhere we see that is somehow connected with the recommendations, we find a way of smuggling it in, so that by the time the CSOs are going through the review document, they will not say that we have shown their recommendations or something like that. Before you know what is happening, Ogagoje will start calling Madam Becky. So so that is it. So any other issue? So in the absence of anything, now we are done with the presentations from all the groups, and observations have been made. All the inputs you've made, some have been accepted, some have been modified, while others were rejected. So you go back to a group, remove the track changes, right? Accept. Where it is rejected, you reject. Where you were asked to modify, remodify, so that at the end we'll have, a clean document. That one, then the remaining work will be left for us to finish it up, in terms of other things. So for now, is it time for lunch, Madam Becky? 1:30. So we can start working. Let's go to our groups. Let's go back to our groups and start making the the corrections so that we have a final document. And later, after which we'll come and present again. Yes, we'll come and present it again so that we'll be sure all the corrections are effected, right? So let's go to our thematic groups and start effecting the corrections. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm. Group 1, you are here, ba? Yes. Group 1,